So you guys saw in my previous video how um, what I was going to be using in my 2024 system. So we did a quick flip through. Now let me show you guys how I'm going to be using each element of my planner. So I realize that a lot of times when we do these planner flip throughs, we're just looking at all the pretty decorations and we don't necessarily get into the nitty gritty of why certain things are there. So of course that's just inspiration. This is the 2024. I keep this on here as one so I can look at the full year at one time when I'm trying to figure out certain dates. Now I am debating on whether or not I'm going to print out the 2024 holiday schedule and just tape it to this side or just put another sheet on to this side. But that's what this is for, so I can look and be like, okay, I know my birthday is the 8th. It falls on this day. In so many days, it's going to be President's Day, or just looking to see what when certain days fall throughout the whole year. Because I do not keep a full 12 months in my planner. I keep 6 months at a time. Once a month is over, I take that month out of my planner. So that's just my personal way I use my dismount system. So that's what that page is. And every year I like to do a kind of, I guess I don't want to call it a vision board, but I make a list of, it's usually whatever number year it is. Like last year was 23 things before the end of 2023. So this year I'll pick 24 things that I want to do before the end of 2024. There are not 24 boxes on here, but I usually, sometimes the multiple items will go in here, but there's enough boxes for to kind of make two things per, what's the name, and then it'll be like travel, so I might list like the 5 places I want to travel in one box. So before anybody's like, well, you don't even have 24 boxes. I know. So that's what that page is, and it's just motivation. Whenever I'm feeling down, I can look back and kind of take a look. It's, I guess you can call it a mini vision board of what I want to accomplish over this year and things that I want to do. And then for my monthly, and my monthly, I put birthdays. Holidays are usually marked in here. I also put doctor's appointments, whenever I'm going to be on vacation, meetings, and important events, like if somebody's wedding, anniversary party, anything like that goes on my monthly. When we move to the weekly is for things that need, when I'm using the vertical layout, these are things that need to be done that particular day. So I will put at the top my top 3 items. So and my top 3 items are usually the 3 things that I want to get done before I start my 9 to 5 job. So I have a 9 to 5 gig. I wake up with enough time to do kind of my morning routine, and then usually have about 2 hours, or depending on how long my exercising might run, I usually have at least a good solid 2 hours before I start work. So I usually put 3 tasks, 3 things I need to do before work starts, to kind of set myself up for that day, or if it's a project or anything like that. The rest of my planner, again, this is what you're looking at it without it being decorated. So any meetings I have that day will be highlighted. Any appointments I have that day will be highlighted. I always keep, regardless of whatever layout I'm using, I always keep a brain dump section. So in the vertical, I usually don't decorate this section. I usually use it for brain dumping. If it starts to run over, I will put it in the margins, excuse me, not in the margins, but at the bottom of the planner. But that's what I use my weekly for. So it's going to be individual tasks. It's going to be appointments, like if I have a doctor's appointment or anything like that. The only birthdays that I usually highlight on my weekly is my own birthday and usually my kid's birthday. And so for my birthday, the whole week will be like super decorated because it's my birthday. For my kid's birthday, I usually only decorate that one particular day. Vacations, I'll do a whole kind of spread that's vacation themed and then just make space for events that we have planned while I'm on vacation. So the back page, well, what people call the currently page, I do not use as a currently page. This page is for brain dumping, things that I did not accomplish in January that needs to be moved over to February. This is pretty much brain dumping, to-dos, dates. Like if I have a dentist appointment in February, that's a follow-up and I have to do something before that, I would put that on this particular page. Now, daily pages, I use daily pages usually for the weekend. And that is because the bulk of my strategic planning and marketing planning and kind of content creation for my online business is done over the weekend. So that is what I usually use these daily pages for. Or if it's a jam-packed weekend and I have a list of like to-do items, I also need to map out like a photo shoot or content. All of that stuff is done on a daily page and it's written out in great detail because for my weekly, it's pretty much an overview of what's going to be going on that day. The daily pages is where I'll get into the meat and potatoes. So on my weekly, I may block out an hour or 2 hours, photo shoot from 12 to 1. The daily page is where I'll actually list out, okay, I need to get pictures of Cheryl in a red dress, Mike in blue pants. Like I will write out what needs to be done on the daily pages. So the budget section is pretty much self-explanatory. This is the section where I'll be tracking out, I'll be actually pulling out my laptop, checking my accounts. How much did I pay into my savings accounts? What did I pay on credit cards? Mortgage, extra payments, all of those things will be filled out for here. So I'm like, that is self-explanatory. Now, the fitness section. This is something new that I've only probably done the last couple of months. So I do not need a whole fitness calendar. I just need something to look at, to be like, okay, I'm making progress, or no, lady, you are not making any progress at all. So I just laid down some trackers on here. And once I got finished, I realized that I probably should have done this week on a separate page, because I was thinking once the month is over, I could pull this out. But what I'll probably do is when January is over, make another set of trackers for February with the week 1, 2, 3, and 4 on there. So this is really for me to take a look at, what am I eating? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I exercising enough? Is the intensity level enough? And is the length long enough? Because there was a point where I had lost a nice amount of weight naturally, and I'm trying to move back into some of those same habits. But it's so weird because I feel like I'm doing what I was doing before, but I'm not seeing the same progress. So there's obviously something that I'm missing. So tracking it gives me kind of an understanding to see, am I really doing what I was doing before, or am I not giving a complete 110%. So then I have my travel section. So this is just a list of places that are on my list of places to visit. I usually just keep note pages here. I'll write out hotels, and I'll write out a list of hotels that I want to visit. I'll go check reviews, see if anybody's made videos on them, and then make notes in this section. This top tab divider are the additional months that are going to be coming. So then we have February to June, and then I have a general brain dump note page section in the back just for general information. So when January is over, February will move up, and then I'll usually bring in July. So that is how I use my catch-all planner. I hope that this was helpful. I know a lot of times people are like that. They like the deco videos, but they also want some meat and potatoes to see how you are actually using the planner to plan. And moving forward, I am going to start doing more, I guess, after the pin videos, or recording myself while I'm filling in my planner. The only thing is I don't fill everything for the whole week in at one time. So it'll probably be me filling it in throughout the week, editing it, and then showing the previous week that following week, if that makes sense. But thank you guys for hanging out. You make sure you have a great day. Make sure you love up on yourself and love up on those who love you back. And peace and blessings to you all.